I have a quick question for you. Have you heard someone say hemp and marijuana are the same plant? Or maybe the difference between hemp and marijuana is 0.3% THC? Yeah, I've heard that a few times myself. But there's just a little problem. Both those statements leave out a very important part of the story. So Hemp Myth Court is in session. And today we're talking about something I've spent more than a decade working on firsthand, hemp. Let's get something straight. Hemp and marijuana are both cannabis. But saying they're both cannabis does not mean they're genetically or chemically identical. Think about dogs. A Chihuahua and a Great Dane are both dogs. But I don't think anybody's going to confuse the two at the dog park. Why? Well, because of generations of selective breeding have produced very different genetics with very different characteristics. And something similar has happened with cannabis. For generations, hemp and marijuana has been selected and bred for very different traits. Marijuana has largely been bred toward THC-dominant chemistry. Most commercial marijuana strains contain little to no CBD in them. Hemp, on the other hand, has been bred toward to have a low THC chemistry. And the hemp that I've spent my career working with is CBD-dominant. That's important because I don't manufacture marijuana products. I've been growing and working with hemp since I brought the first hemp plants back into Kentucky, March of 2014, the very beginning of Kentucky's hemp program. And we produced the first Kentucky-made CBD products from that crop. And what I've always focused on is full-spectrum CBD hemp extract. And full spectrum matters because hemp isn't simply one plant containing one molecule called CBD. It's a complex biochemical factory. And to understand it properly, we have to go deeper than CBD or THC. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of the plant's cannabinoid chemistry. CBGA, cannabigerolic acid, is often called the mother cannabinoid because it serves as the major precursor in the plant's cannabinoid pathway. From CBGA, specific enzymes can create major cannabinoid acids, including CBDA, the precursor to CBD, THCA, the precursor to THC, and CBCA, the precursor to CBC. From there, those acidic cannabinoids can change through processes such as decarboxylation. CBDA can become CBD, THCA can become THC, and CBCA can become CBC. And the plant contains even a broader range of family of minor cannabinoids. So when people talk about CBD-dominant hemp or THC-dominant marijuana, they're talking about plants whose genetics and enzymes favor different cannabinoid pathways. And now, here's where Hemp Myth Court gets interesting. Federal law currently uses 0.3% delta-9 THC as the legal definition separating hemp from marijuana. But think about that for a second. Does a plant's biology suddenly change when an arbitrary result moves from 0.29% to 0.31%? Come on, of course it doesn't. That's a legal threshold, not a biological switch. The plant doesn't look at the lab result and say, well, I guess I'm marijuana now. Plant genetics and plant chemistry are much more complicated than one number, which raises a pretty obvious question. Where did the 0.3% actually come from? Did scientists discover 0.3 was some natural biological dividing line between hemp and marijuana? Or did that number come somewhere else entirely? That's our next case. And once you hear the history behind 0.3, you're probably never going to look at that number the same way again. Hemp Myth Court adjourned.